Right, welcome back to... Oh, my volume's set a bit high, isn't it? Welcome back to Nose Tools.
It's Dog. That's what it's called.
What?
Not Nose Tools.
No, it's not Nose Tools, you're right. It's not been Nose Tools for ages. Rhythmgates.
Oh, what's
Iridinod.
Iridinod.
What's that?
That means Rhythmgates, yes.
Okay.
Iridinod.
And I hope you all followed my suggestion for ludicrous lunar videos. Anyway, oh yes, I remember where we were. We were trying to get this pesky vile force of darkness to emerge from a cupboard.
Does it have agoraphobia or something?
Well, there is a big pile of, like, beak dog, troll, goblin, beak dog, troll in one tile. Beak dog, troll, goblin, beak dog, troll, beak dog, troll. Goblin, beak dog, troll, etc. So there's quite a large amount of a vile force of darkness down this corridor, which goes nowhere. But curiously, they seem a bit reluctant to emerge into the corridor where they keep getting shot with things, with ballistae. So we haven't actually. I don't think we've got enough up for that. We might have in this area if we really wanted to, but like I prefer to shoot them with the ballistae. Yeah, we could engage in a ludicrously overcomplicated engineering effort to just drop things on them. But then we don't get to keep their stuff. Because I think their stuff will be destroyed when we drop the cave-in on them, I think. I think it doesn't just kill, I think it also destroys everything. That would be another approach. Might be a bit tricky, and yeah. There's always doors and such in the way. I mean, I think what I want to do is to apply more temptation. Which I could probably do. So where are there still any of them outside? The answer is probably... Yeah, there's a beak dog. There's another beak dog. But I suppose if there's a pile of goblins right near the front entrance. Okay, I probably shouldn't let that lot out then. So what I need to do is to arrange some temptation that can draw the enemy back out. Problem is, if I do anything that puts... I suppose what we could do... Slightly... Okay, seriously dangerous, but... I could try opening the bridges that let us into that corridor. I don't like that. No, I want to... What do I want to do? What I want is to have some kind of a way to get so let's put these to prepare to fire, because it's not like they're actually hitting anything at the moment. And then we want to get something slightly tempting, like a kitten, into an area that we can then make accessible to the outside. Have they got any trolls outside, actually? Because the thing is that... What's going on there?
I think fundamentally, by trying to use a kitten to tempt people into the line of fire of a ballista, you're being the troll.
Okay, that's snail cage, apparently. So...
Snail cage?
Cage.
Oh, at some point in CM, when you integrate a big square column, you can't show the cot is bound on contact.
So I think all the trolls have been tempted in by the door that they then demolished, which has the interesting consequence that everyone who's outside can be stopped by a door. Oh, of course, we do have a way, a thing we can tempt people through. We can tempt people through the mortal coil, can't we?
It's totally buttons. All lectures about horrifying proof. I don't know why.
If only I can remember where its controls are. They're down here, aren't they? So the mortal coil is correctly sealed. So if I open the... If we just try opening the outer bridge, see if that's enough to tempt them up. And if it's not, then we can open the inner bridge. And the mortal coil takes an awfully long time to walk around, even if you're not having people raise zombies all over it at you. So that might work. Let's try that. I should pay attention just in case any of the enemies do wander out. So someone is on their way to pull that lever. There's lots of rotting going on and people are uselessly lugging ballista arrows as they are wont to do. Right, that has been opened. We have a slight problem that let's just make sure no one actually tries to build that. So now, where are the outside goblins? They don't seem to be being tempted in just yet. Neither are the beak dogs and such being tempted out. Well, let's wait for our starving siege engineer to install that, to load that ballista arrow. And then we'll try opening... might try opening the inner bridge of the mortal coil as well, which will provide a nominal route into the fortress, except that it's very twisty and we can close it again fairly swiftly. Oh, that might be bad. No, they've done it on the surface. They may cause a lot of trouble, but for now I'm not going to worry about it.
How come it's always wear monitors? I thought this game had wear all sorts of things.
Yes, but
Multiple fortresses.
I suspect they're all descended from one Urware monitor. So at some point, someone will have annoyed a god enough to get cursed with wear monitorism. And then they will have passed this on to lots of other people. And so there is a general pandemic of wear monitorism going on.
And your two fortresses have the same world, which is why
Yes.
Now they've all got wear
they
monitors.
both got this particular thing in the world's history. Yes, right.
Oh, there's a troll emerging into the line of fire. Well, we should probably do something about that. Here, shoot the troll. Sorry, trolls. Bleed to death. If your heart gets bruised, you probably aren't living for very long. Oh, one of them is still alive.
You're going towards you away from you. You're going across you. You're all walking along sideways line.
Well, I think
And if you're
it's
going a very big corridor, that's like really fast.
I think it's so that you leave one set of tracks, not a squillion.
Hello.
Uh,
I think I might have known that state.
no. Oh, mistakes. This is a mistake.
Yep, no.
One of the trolls has even got out. Shocking.
If they're visible rather than just having their tracks looked at afterwards, then they ought to be lined up along the line of sight of whoever's looking at them, which is especially awkward if they're being looked at down from a police helicopter.
It's true. Oh, you might be the stack of 1,500 horses with the fruity whiskers on top.
We are a bit short of frame rate here, aren't we? Things are going a bit sluggish. Probably because I've made the oh gods, all the scholars are coming in that way. The scholars are notably better at getting into the fortress than the invading army is. Well, oh, yeah, that's fine as long as they are all actually scholars and not wear monitors. Oops. Yep, one of those is a beak dog, though.
Did you say beak dog?
Beak dog.
Beak dog. Okay, very well.
I assume it's a dog that has a beak.
Yeah, I think here. A creature from the evil swamp. It resembles a squat wingless bird with a powerful beak and legs. Its blotchy skin is brightly coloured. Her skin is striped red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. A rainbow striped beak dog.
Wow.
Her eyes are black.
If the beak can resemble a bird, where did the dog part of the name come from?
I think they're not. They're flightless and
Like dogs. There you are.
possibly. Jacob says that's not a beak dog, it's a magical pony corn.
Has someone been looking on the wiki for pictures?
I think it was the description.
Okay. Oh, so
Oh, the beak dog has left the mortal coil again. There are several beak dogs with inadequate numbers of legs in the one right lower leg gone there, and left lower leg mangled beyond recognition. Apparently not bleeding badly, so those ones may even survive. And dwarves are still having their usual general inability to operate siege engines efficiently. Right, the goblins are now starting to think about entering the mortal coil. Since the goblins are harmless to the scholars, it's perfectly reasonable for me to close the mortal coil exit early. Though I would like more creatures. Oh, there are lots of trolls coming out now. Yeah, okay, everyone is now leaving there. So I need to decide when to pull that lever. And I think the answer is pretty soon. Because better to accidentally close the door too early than to let anyone in who shouldn't be let in. And while all the people in the lead are scholars, just hope it's someone reasonably nearby who's assigned themselves to pull that lever. Where are you? Well, you're on your way up, I suppose. Yeah, that'll probably be fine. Anyone feel like firing a ballista anytime soon? Twang!
I think I can't laugh at them this evening.
Right, that door was successfully closed. So all of the incoming scholars will now find they can't get to the library after all by that route. Meanwhile, we're busy hurling ballista arrows at anyone who will listen. I presume they aren't all rainbow-striped beak dogs. Okay, maybe they are. We have another red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet beak dog here. Sorry I'm killing them all. Someone has apparently been breeding rainbow-striped beak dogs in the dwarven, in the goblin pits. Oh, that should get a lot of goblins. Whee! Splat! Serious amounts of death there. We could try to operate these catapults, but having staffing difficulties enough as it is. I don't think leather ends up having colours based on the creatures it came from, though obviously it should. Hey, there are some goblins standing up. How about you go and shoot ballista arrows at them? Thank you. Okay, assuming you can actually operate a ballista competently and fire it, or is firing it too much for you? Apparently it is. You've decided to go to individual combat drill rather than firing the ballista. Thank you. The person who's decided to fire the ballista is currently 70 floors below ground level, deciding where to go. I mean, admittedly, everyone is now milling around in the corridor because there's nothing outside for them to go and do anyway.
You've surely now satisfied your ambition to actually use a ballista to kill an enemy of the fortress.
Yes, we managed that last session. Yes, so there's no kind of, well, we must do this for the sake of the honour of the ballista.
For the honour of the ballista.
The honour of Sticks. Sticks Hold's probably a fortress name, isn't it?
It almost certainly can be.
It's certainly too sensible.
You can specify the name, but you have to construct it out of the components that you're allowed to construct fortress names out of. Which can be a bit tricky. So the besiegers... There are lots of people milling around below ground trying to work out what to do next, but we don't have a pet necromancer we can use to do anything interesting with them. Someone might be willing to fire that ballista. Oh, there's a beak dog in the way at least. Splot. Oh, just dodged it. I don't think there's actually anyone alive in that bottom corridor, though. I think pretty much everyone has escaped again. So actually, we can switch these back. Keep them on prepare to fire for now. Try pulling those two levers and seeing where that puts everything. So the siege is not officially over yet. The goblins haven't yet reached the point of going, this is obviously stupid. So we may need to lure the ones who still have legs back inside. Obviously this involves kittens.
Thanks.
Or socks, yes, socks might work. Right, oh, that's nice. I think that we can actually resynchronize the bridges. Actually, no, don't pull that lever. So I've now sealed off the exit from the ballista corridors. So we could unlock those doors, leaving that one locked, and rebuild a door. Oh, are we out of doors? How annoying. Build a stone door then, or like 4 of them. So what we want is to put something back at the back end of this corridor that someone might want. So we could put in a replacement kitten here. Our cats are all growing up. Kitten. And a door in front of it once we have a spare door. Since it's reasonably safe, let us reclaim all of the rubbish that the goblins have left behind. Of course, if we're lucky, we can infect all of them with wear monitorism. I'm sure that will help. No, we can't degauss wear monitors. So we should probably have a door by now. I've just marked everything in that area for reclaiming, so probably there'll be some people along in a moment to collect it all and haul things to inappropriate places. No, because of the weird stockpilery going on there, a lot of it, some of it should get just hauled to the stockpile just outside, if that all works properly. So we still don't have a door. Why is no one making me a door? Someone is making me a door. They're probably just off fetching the rock from somewhere wildly inappropriate. Actually, I'm going to release the dwarves from the ballistae for now, so that they can all get some food and sleep and such like. And we'll call them back when we're ready. Right, let's put a new door in there because that worked fairly well. And someone should be bringing us a cat. Yep, here they are. And then we can operate the doors again. Cat delivered.
In a box.
No. We will put it in a box fairly shortly though. But we first need to put a door next to it. Actually, let's just stick a wall here so that no. Let's first dispose of the cat corpse from here, because it's impolite to leave cat corpses lying around, and then build a wall, which I'll actually set going here and then suspend it. So that I can remember it, with the intention of thus shortening the corridor. Actually, no, let's do this properly. Cancel that. Remove that bridge entirely. And this will, I mean, I can end bits of that if it turns out that I don't need to do it in this order. The siege is still officially going on. Goblins are running around in the snow, throwing snowballs at one another, whatever it is goblins do in snow. They don't seem to be having a problem with weather. I mean, they could do, but I think it's not that cold here. So here comes someone to demolish that bridge. No one has yet delivered the door. Or collected the dead cat. Oh, right, okay. They got bored. That's fine. Yeah, off they go. We have defeated the siege. Yes. It's going to take a little while for the... Right. Let us properly operate the safety procedures and pull the lever that I probably should have pulled earlier. Oh, yes, that's why no one is going into the ballista corridor. No, because I'd set things to say don't go down there, don't go in there because it might be full of goblins. Now everyone's going in there, and now they're going to get hurled in the air by an accidental standing in the wrong place. Oh well, I hope no one just got killed by that drawbridge.
I mean, it's most likely that probably the air by accident is standing in the wrong place.
We probably thus now need to trash all the parts of goblins that we don't want. Anyone with a two-word name is probably a goblin and can be destroyed. Can be scrapped immediately. Any corpse with a two-word name, I mean. So yes, goblinite harvesting is in progress, kind of. Possibly we need a much larger goblinite storeroom. Why is anything rotting in the mortal coil? No one should have died there. Since there are still invaders in there, I'm not going to... So what I think I should actually do is to have a large room below the ballista corridor. Keep changing my mind about what shape it should be. Let's have it connect to that corridor. Let's make it symmetric so it should go down to there. Run it out to there for now while I think about whether what I do up there. And also dig out that section. The idea being that we have a goblinite store down here. Sorry, let's dig out a load more. And then we can move goblinite very quickly. So how are we doing at disposing of the invaders? No, still plenty of invaders around. Ah, that door I asked for has finally arrived. No, that's going to get built from the wrong side, isn't it? If I build it out of that ice.
So between the entity of choice in one, it's going to be carbon.
Oh, I'm out of stone blocks. Let's make some more of those. Right, well, most of the population of the mortal coil are in danger of turning into wear monitors at this stage. I mean, it is strictly open to the surface so that they can escape.
So problem with the containment protocol.
Wagons are not visiting us because we haven't actually opened the front door yet. Owing to the fact that we've got a bunch of goblins stuck in the mortal coil. I mean, we could just lock... Actually, sod it. Let's just lock them in there with the scholars.
I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me.
I mean, if they're going to keep... If they're not actually in the process of actively escaping and are just repeatedly running away from the wear monitors. Definitely a lot of death going on down there. There's only 5 trolls left. Presumably autumn, given Jacob asked what season is it. Yes, it's autumn because the outpost liaisons arrived. They knocked down my spare trade depot. I mean, the spare trade depot doesn't work properly at the moment, but I'm still slightly grumpy about that. So if those last few trolls can get either killed or can depart... Annoyingly, it rather looks like someone's taken out the troll's legs, so it's going to take them ages to get out. That's a troll corpse. Why is it not being disposed of? I'm assuming that lot's rubbish. Right, it's not like we're going to have any shortage of beak dog components.
So we just have to hope that no one's going to use them to build a new beach dog. A new zombie beach dog. That would never happen.
Well, this is why we crush that sort of thing. You built that wall the wrong way with a dead troll on the wrong side of it. And some diorite mechanisms and... Yeah, I'm going to have you knock that wall down and try again. I think the beak dogs are all getting butchered, which is nice.
They're not. They're actually beach dogs.
Well, they're dead already. Actually, maybe I shouldn't just knock that wall down. Because, like, if I want to get the things out of there, what I should do is tunnel into that corridor from somewhere else and drain it by that means, rather than reconnecting it to the thing I don't want it connected to. And the invaders are very slowly leaving. Everyone is going anti-clockwise around the mortal coil now, which is probably the correct direction to be going in. So I think, is that one prone troll now? Yes. So those definitely look like they're trolls, so those can go. Definitely a goblin.
They definitely look like trolls, but they might be giants. No.
So we only have one invader, and that's a badly injured troll now. I think we can safely open the front door. Not yet. Let's wait until we've dealt with all the beat dog corpses and parts first. Yes, the butcher shop is busy butchering. The front door is now open. Immediately a child runs out into the snow to play.
Gets killed by what turns out to be a flock and disguised as a mountainside.
Let's just check where the unhappy troll goes. Okay, the unhappy troll keeps getting into fights with people. You know, I thought you were leaving. Well, I still have a perfectly cromulent military. Kill the troll. Troll killed. Basically, right, the troll got into not very much trouble by someone clobbering it with a crutch rather. The swordmaster slashes the troll in the head with his steel short sword, and the severed part sails off in an arc. Well, that's a fairly rapid disposal of the troll. Yes, I'm sure you are. Our situation is that we've just beaten off a goblin invasion.
A large giant weasel.
No, it's a large cap made out of giant weasel leather. We don't care anymore. Maybe. Whatever. Right. Still busy butchering. Not sure what they're butchering. Oh, beak dog corpse. Or possibly skeleton by now. Yes. Right, that'll give us even more bones. I'm sure more bones will help.
Which is pretty reported, violating the law of conservation is sitting down.
Yes. I think that's because there are lots of ways that you don't. So, standing up is an action you actually kind of have to take, whereas stopping standing up is something that can happen to you. And I think a lot of those stands ups are as a result of just meeting someone in a corridor. And thus.
What, previously they would just happen to be lying down in the corridor for no reason.
Well, no, because you can only have one person standing up in a square at a time. So if two dwarves meet in a corridor, one of them has to lie down in order for the other one to get past. And the combat log reports every event, every vaguely interesting event that happens in a fight, and carries on running for a little while after you get out of a fight. And so we get a kind of trickle of what would usually be uninteresting events, but would be interesting if they happened in a fight. And standing up is interesting in a fight because it gives you more useful attacks than not standing up. But it's a terribly tedious event outside of a fight. Oh look, we've made a beak dog bone crown.
I like to think it has lots of little pointy bits of beak sticking up around the edge.
It's possible. Right, so now we have a nice big room underneath. That system never got finished. Let's dismantle that. Underneath the Goblinite collection area. There are still people running around. Oh. Right, another strange mood. Still people running round and round and round the mortal coil. This is a problem with opening it. But since we're at peace, we can operate.
What are all the seeds? Are those crumbles?
Probably cats. Cats like the mortal coil. They can zoom round and round and round in circles in it. I'm just watching our person who's having a strange mood, making sure that they get to collect everything they want. This is using quite a lot of objects, but most of them are not very valuable. Hurrah! Welcome! What do you know how to do? Or a butcher? Well, I'm sure that's useful. Oh no, sorry, you. Or a miller. Well, I'm not so sure that's useful. I don't know. Let's make you a siege operator. Right, and our strange mood has started in the usual fashion. Excellent. That's definitely a dead troll. Worn.
You wouldn't want to warn giant evil of the cat. Now, what means a warn?
As in damaged.
Like, not on your head. Right.
No.
And then you can have a warn war horn. Well, the war horn that you're wearing is a war.
So I want probably roughly the same settings that this stockpile has, which is give or take allow everything, but only take from stockpile 38. Actually, no. Let's make it slightly smaller simply for symmetry.
Stupid, good mute people.
Right. Take from there, take from links only. Lots of bins permitted. That, I think, is essentially the same configuration as that one, but it's nearer and bigger. Meanwhile, just in case there's something we actually want. Why are all the mugs up here? That's just weird. Probably because all the booze is up here because no one's bothered taking it downstairs. Only banning the export of ballista parts, which are fine. No one wants. We don't want to sell those anyway. If it has a horn, it's definitely not usefully butcherable. What are you doing standing around there with a mug? Oh, you're drinking. Is there a barrel of booze just lying around there? Yes, there is. Why is there a barrel of booze there? That's not sensible. Possibly because we don't have barrels enabled here. Let's temporarily at least allow barrels in there, which might get that barrel of beer. What? You've only just arrived. Well, we'll have your wood anyway because we keep burning the stuff. Also because we might not get any next time. Oh yes, I had a stupid plan, didn't I? I should investigate my stupid plan in a bit. Was there any interesting metal? Not that we've made much by way of native weaponry recently, because we mostly just import it or steal it from the goblins. Have some booze, even though we've doubtless got enough, because it will give us some variety. Have any steel weapons you've brought? Okay, a steel mace is a bit pointless, but or someone wants some crossbow bolts. Any really valuable food? I don't remember if we can do anything with quarry bush leaves. I think we can cook them into meals, if nothing else. Hello, cheese. Is that categorised somewhere else? Oh, there's the cheese. You like cheese? Cheese is usually valuable. And we traditionally buy parchment simply because it's a pig to make. We'll have any books you've got. Alright, maybe we want a bit of iron armour too. It's fairly cheap after all. Right, that's a valuable earring, isn't it? Well, yes. Semi-precious rings made of semi-precious gems. That's fairly impressive. Right. Right, well, we've bought the really interesting things that they came with. before they departed. Artifact bracelet. Excellent. I'm sure it will make you happy.
Pardon me, one of your dwarves got the surname Conjure Trumpet.
Yes.
It just been up in the bottom line.
Uh,
I suppose it is, yeah.
sorry, we want that one, don't we? Yes, the ancestor in whose name the artifact Sandpearwood bracelet was claimed. It was called Conjure Trumpet. Conjure Trumpet. It's a pretty decent bracelet, encrusted with rectangular nice cabochons and oval siltstone cabochons, studded with silver, decorated with sandpearwood and beak dog bone, menaces with spikes of beak dog bone. On the item is an image of a long four-sided, thank you, prism in cobaltite. I didn't even know we had any cobaltite. Where did you get cobaltite from? On the item is an image of a toy axe in beak dog bone. No, while you may get goblinite from goblins, you don't get cobaltite from kobolds. So my silly plan was that I should fell some of these bloodthorns, because bloodthorn is very dense wood. And so it would make excellent stuff to make even more deadly ballista arrows out of. So let's send someone down to fell a few bloodthorns. I mean, not like our ballista arrows have been short of deadliness when we could get anyone into a suitable position for them, but
Yes, I mean, it is, as weapons go, a weapon which you're prepared to move heaven and earth to persuade enemies to walk into the line of fire rather than actually aim it. It could be argued to lack a certain manoeuvrability.
yes. So you're a dwarf, but we don't seem to have given you anywhere to be buried.
I'm too tired to hit you, Baldrick, so please run into my fist.
Yes, yes. It is quite a lot like that, really. But yes, they are completely immobile. So, well, I mean, you can rotate them through 90 degrees, but that's really not very helpful. So yes, there does have to be an awful lot of effort to get anything to, like, be shot by them.
I mean, the flip side is, given that you built this long, thin corridor that's the only thing the ballista can fire down, if you do manage to get an entire invading army into it, they stay and enfilade the whole time, which is why it was so effective.
Yes.
It's sort of a high faff but high reward strategy. When it works, it really works.
I mean, to be fair, the mortal coil was pretty effective too, except that it, like, depended on one member of my fortress who went mad. Okay, for some reason, even though this is set to take from stockpile 38, it's accumulating all of our beer. Thank you, Jacob. Yes, I had not noticed that. That this new artifact bracelet is called the Sparkles of Outrage. That's quite glorious too. Okay, I'm going to disable barrels again because I think that turns out to leave all of our beer in here, which is not where we want it.
Suffer a barrel to live.
Well, thou shalt not suffer a barrel to be used in that stockpile. And why is there still a copy of the World of the Siphon, or indeed the original manuscript of A World of the Siphon lying around in our ballista corridor? Eh? Why is it not in the library?
Possibly,
Like we even have a book stockpile in the library.
possibly receiving the tender attentions of the librarian that are applied to books that have been left in the war zone for too long.
The librarians, actually I don't know that we have any actual librarians, have not yet cleaned the coyote blood off the native copper slab. As in, that means it's a rock or possibly a mineral that contains copper in metallic form. Yes. So it doesn't strictly need smelting. Just melting. No, there's still a barrel of dwarven wine stuck up there. Right. I presume we have someone who can cut wood. Yes, they're just trying to find an axe. Okay. I'd like those last few beak dogs to be disposed of so that I know that we can see what the so I think we need some more memorials, don't we? So that one's got into that weird state that usually means that someone undead has been buried there and then come back to life, and so it's owned by, well, nobody or something. But that, on the other hand, Sigun Fathzimkel probably wants a memorial. As does Mebzuth Kolnol. and Datan Akrulaban. If we know anything about them at all. You may be right at the bottom of the list since they were a wear monitor. Let's leave them for now.
My brain just saying, here a wear monitor, there a monitor, everywhere a wear monitor. No.
Olon Likot Lorban.
Had a fortress, E-I-E-I-O.
Just being unable to see anyone's name these days. Let's just run through this list again. With the idea being that I want to spot anyone who is labelled as entombed but not memorialised. Memorialised but not entombed.
Vigorously ignoring the chair position.
That one we're already doing one for. That one we're already doing one for. You're somehow memorialised but with no slabs engraved, which I think is impossible. Okay, I'm confused because I don't seem to be able to make memorials to the others. Because there doesn't seem to be anyone listed there who is entombed but not memorialised. Which suggests that there is some gap between the rules about who gets a tomb and the rules about who we can engrave a memorial to.
Right, good night.
Right. Okay. All right. These things, while listed as, while shown as bones, while shown as corpses, actually appear to be just loose piles of bones, which is possibly why they're not being butchered. Right. I'm going to mark any corpse or skeleton that's still up here that isn't those 2 piles of beak dog bones as to be taken away and disposed of. can. What are you doing? Have you decided you need to change your armour and it's all in the wrong places and you're now running up and down the stairs repeatedly? I'm fairly sure you were picking up equipment when I last heard from you. I think I should. It's probably reasonable for me to open the library now. I think, in particular, anyone who was bitten by the wear monitor has probably left. Just dispose of anything here, because similarly anyone who should be buried is probably been buried already, or rather entombed. It's like an awful lot of stuff here happens below ground anyway. Buried feels like a kind of inappropriate phrase. Probably something under that miasma that I want to dispose of, but I don't know what yet. What were you doing down there in the first place? I mean, really. Our woodcutter is still running around over the mountainside, swapping clothing around. Possibly we need a nice big clothing repository somewhere. Mebs's Colnol has a grave. Why are they not being buried there? We've successfully buried some of their teeth, but not like the main bit of their skeleton. What I forget, and that gives rise to the stream title, is simply that I forgot entirely what was going on, and so didn't know what to title the stream. Right. We now just have 2 piles of beak dog bones there, which I'm sure someone will find a use for eventually. Probably want to pull that lever. Destroy at least some more objects. Why is the mortal coil access closed? We need to dismantle those fortifications to extract some armour from them. Snooze, right. Those trees remain. What are you doing? Still not very well dressed. Place is full of piglets. Our butcher shop is getting cluttered up with bones because we can't actually consume them fast enough, even though our Craftsdwarf's workshop is cluttered with crafts because we can't encrust them with gems fast enough. We at least haven't reached the point where we don't have enough space to store crafts awaiting export yet. Just trying to get myself some more gems. My slightly silly roots. Still trying to find yourself things to wear. Yes, I probably need a big stockpile of ordinary clothes. People don't spend all their time trekking across the map to find the perfect sock.
Is there a perfect sock?
I don't know.
It could be a secret sock, maybe a holy one.
Yes. Rotten creepy crawler remains annoying. Right. So we still have this problem that our woodcutter's now going to sleep, having spent all their time hunting for socks. Right, sorry, I'm going to allocate a large room. And declare this to be where we store all the spare clothes. And I'll just make it bigger and bigger as necessary. Surely of the wheels and axles. You strange people. The Tin Library now has a reasonable stock of books. 47 books. Kind of weird the way that whatever rules dwarves use for deciding what to mine next tends to lead to slightly weird, like irregular patterns. Maybe they're just a bit non-deterministic. I mean, obviously, once you get 2 dwarves involved, it's going to go mad. Right, so just declare all of this area to be, what's it? Armour? Do they have? Just being blind here. Animal food, furniture, coins, corpses, refuse, stone, wood, gem, bar block, cloth, leather, ammo sheets, finished goods. I think armour D. Right. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Allow all, but forbid anything made of metal. All shields. Actually, oh no. Anything that we know to be really armour and not ordinary clothes. This will now cause a phenomenal set of store item in stockpile jobs. Someone has been killing things in our main workshop area because everything's covered in blood. Happily, someone's also now cleaning, so the blood is going away. Hurrah! Finally! Our woodcutter has found all the clothes they want and is going down to fell some trees. Not sure why there's a scholar all the way down here running around with a book. Someone is going to get clobbered with a pile of bloodthorn logs, aren't they? Oh, maybe not. So a bloodthorn log weighs 62 kilos, whereas slightly more typical log. Where are our logs kept? Don't say var log. Say persimmon wood log. Only weighs 41 kilos. What's our siege ammo situation like? Why have we got a forbidden bronze ballista arrow? Oh, because there was some reason why we couldn't collect it, yes. So lots of people appear to be storing items in bins. What they're storing? They seem to, okay. They mostly seem to be storing gems from the very lower reaches where we've recently been doing some mining. Snooze. Right. Do I... How are we off metal at the moment? Let's try making a couple of steel ballista arrowheads. Right, and we can explicitly ask for that to be made, then to assemble those with bloodthorn. So there isn't a whether we gather armour or not setting. There's something stupid I've done here. We permit lots of kinds of thing here. Permit any material, any quality, any material that isn't a metal. And we could permit metals as well, but I don't think that's going to make any difference. Allow both plant and animal and non-plant animal. You allow both usable and unusable. And if nothing else, does it turn out that actually I have to do this under here? If I say leg wear, hand wear, head wear, foot wear, armour, does that then cause things to get delivered down here? Maybe. Okay, it looks like that was what we needed. It looks like the armour section is only those that can actually be used as armour. But that means, unfortunately, we can't restrict these by whether they're wearable. Oh well. Alright, of course, you're hauling the bloodthorn all the way up from the basement. And getting into tangles on the stairs. Where are you going now? You're going back downstairs, okay. Yes, how's our efforts to clear out this mass of webs going? Not very well. You have a shortage of bins, probably. Oh, there's a couple of things available. In memory of Sigurd Fathzimkel, born 100, struck down by the goblin song Rhythmgate with an iron pike in Umus Tospas, the attack of strife in the year 175, creator of the Tunnel of Stars, lover of the poetry of rhythms. In memory of Mebzuth Skolnol, born 167, struck down by the goblin Smunstu Werlock with an iron great axe in Umus Tospas, the attack of strife in the year 175, lover of tetrahedrite, which, is at least something they might have seen. So du hast, spelt with one S, means you have. Du hast, spelt with two S's, or rather with an S set, means you hate.
I didn't know they were spelled differently, and I always thought it was from anyone. That's why I was confused by the grammaticalism.
Well, I suspect it may be. I think. Indeed, possibly. The first one should be hate, and the last one should be have.
I always got the impression it was some sort of pun thing, and it was you hate me, you have
Told
I
me.
assume was a pun,
Yes.
from what I knew of the song type thing. But, I find it annoying to have to go back, but then
Right. What are we doing next? We have some poor soul woodcutters off picking up equipment again. Attempting to assemble a bloodthorn ballista arrow, which involves lugging bloodthorn logs all the way up from the deep caverns. Which is a slow process because bloodthorn logs are heavy. Still, how's our... Yeah, that needs some bins, really. Does permit bins, doesn't it? Yes. But apparently no one has quite decided to use them yet. Right, well... Oh yes, I should get the... oh, winter! I should get the mortal coil fixed before I go to bed, because otherwise I'll completely forget that. So I'll fix the mortal coil. Because I demolished bits of it, as usual, to get stuff out. Because it gets stuck in the teeth. No, in the... indeed, what often gets stuck is the teeth in the fortifications. Yes, I think there are not many dwarves moving clothes around at the moment because they need to work out that they want to put bins in that stockpile. No, sadly, I do have to demolish and rebuild these fortifications myself. Or rather, I have to instruct each thing to be demolished and then reconstructed so that the stuff can be got out of it. And also, we should... dig a slightly silly corridor around that, so that we can build a wall across there. And then engagings, then we can temporarily, sorry, I'm getting distracted from going to bed, aren't I? Then we can temporarily open that, and then close the front door. So that we can make the emergency backup trade depot work properly. I think if I dig through the floor along here. Oh right, I can't. Oh gods, can I not channel that out while there's a bridge above it? Because nominally there's a bridge there. Oh, what a mess. Right. So that means if this structure is going to work, oh, I'm sure there is a path. Well, okay, maybe you've locked yourselves in now. Right, well, we need to deal with this with some urgency then. Let's just rapidly wall off that. And demolish that bridge. Yeah, I appreciate there's a bunch of areas you can't currently get to. That's because I messed things up slightly. Have patience. We will sort you out in due course. P.S. There's a random troll corpse there to dispose of. Right, so that is that bridge. Very soon demolished. So that means now I can provide access to the emergency trade depot. What? Alright, there we go. So all being well, one of our miners will finish doing what they're currently doing and come and cut those and come and make that hole. and hence let out the unfortunately trapped builders downstairs. Right, here comes a miner. Taking a slightly complicated route out of the fortress because some idiot has made the simple routes hard to get to. Right, so now the poor dwarves who are stuck down here can escape. You can now permit the construction of that again, and that, and we can then build new bridge there. Okay, there's a slight problem that we don't have access to enough ice. What? Sod it, I'm going to be brave and knock that wall down, because I think that's wrecking the connectivity of the fortress a bit. This might be a problem if anyone turns up while we're doing this. So now, someone come and build that bridge quickly, because things are slightly problematic until you have. Especially since I think there's a door here, but someone has gone and left a mitten in it. Let's just destroy that mitten, because that will improve matters a little. Right, someone is delivering a bin to that stockpile. Which now should allow for a bunch of stuff, a bunch of store item in bin jobs to start up. As people go, oh, all that scrap clothing can be put in that bin. Except that because of the way that the locking protocols work, only one person can be trying to store items in any one bin at any one time. Right, so now we have a bypass that goes around the emergency backup trade depot. And that door now closes again, which is nice. And the construction of the emergency backup trade depot is underway. It has been architected at least. And we just need a mason to turn up. Has that siege ammo been made then? Those two are both the same weight as one another. I'm kind of suspicious of the way that all our copper ballista arrows are the same weight. Actually, I wonder if it turns out that ballista arrows are have a weight that's actually independent of the wood that they're made from. Are you working on the bridge by any chance? Looks like it, yes, good. Because I would quite like that bridge back in working order soon. Now just need some masonry. Then we need to link it up to a good night, Cosmos. Then we just need to link it up to the lever again. Something has been stolen, how terrible. Fine, we can write more books. Right, how's this going? Right, now let us take the front door lever and link up our newly built bridge. Actually, the dash diorite mechanisms, let's see if we can make that a more efficient linkage. probably correct. I'm not quite sure. It might turn out that there's some like diorite mechanisms right next to it. Maybe not. Right, we don't actually have enough steel to make any more steel ballista arrowheads, sadly. All those bins are empty. What's going on? No, you're lugging a thing all the way up. Yeah, I'll snooze too soon. Or maybe you're going down with it. I don't know. Well, yes. One day I'll work out how to deal with that. Right, okay, the front door. Let's just test the front door switch. That, unsurprisingly, did nothing because I think the state's wrong. So if we pull it again, then that closes that door but opens the access to the emergency backup trade depot. That works. Let's set the switches into a sensible state then. Basically, I pulled every lever pretty much there. Right, so the ballista alley is now back in operational condition. we haven't finished clearing out the mortal coil, so it's still connected on the inner end. Also missing a fortification here. Right. Some point someone here is going to realise they're going the wrong way. Might reopen mortal coil access merely because once those fortifications have been built, it's reasonably safe to open it, and there's a lot of armour in there that wants disposing of. Actually, that fortification should be buildable anyway, shouldn't it? Go on. Right, so that's reasonable, that's reasonable. We think maybe it's not actually worth making ballista arrows out of bloodthorn. Front door is open. I would just like to turn back on the coil access because otherwise everyone's going to be going round and round in circles forever. Right. That there is not suspended, so someone will turn up and finish constructing that. Oh, I should wait for this to start at least, shouldn't I? And that's paused, which means he's begun a mysterious construction. Right, time to stop. So, good night all, and we will probably be back on Sunday. Have my button to do this. Good night.